Good morning, it's April 29th, 2017. I'm gonna go get breakfast and then I've gotta go to the library because I have a lot of homework to do. I have an essay due Monday. An essay due Monday. Another essay due Wednesday. Project due Wednesday. 2 other essays that I don't remember when they're due, but they're coming up. So, a lot of work. Alright, I'm walking to library now. It's another hot, humid day, but it is so pretty. It's just everything's alive and green again. I'm finally leaving the library. I got here a little bit before 12:30. It's like 12:20 when I got here, and it's 4:10 now, and I'm leaving finally. Feels good to be back outside. So what I did was I finished my family studies book report. So I'm glad to have that off my shoulders, but it's worth a lot, so I'm also just nervous I didn't do well enough on it. But it should be fine. And also, me and Roshan and Carrie are talking about taking a trip to Disney World over the summer. So I looked up plane tickets, and I uploaded my vlog. And now I'm probably going to go back to my dorm and watch YouTube. Somebody's playing harmonica outside of my dorm. Hi! So I haven't totally decided what I'm going to call this video yet because I've done 2 other videos kind of like this. They're called Questions Answered Part 1 and Questions Answered Part 2, but this is a little bit like a Q&A, except I never asked for these questions, and I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, they were just kind of sent to me sporadically, and I decided to put them all together and answer them in one video. So if you guys are actually interested in a Q&A, let me know in the comments, and I can work towards doing a Q&A. I can tell you when I'll do it, and you guys can send in questions. So whatever I decide to title it, I'm going to answer your questions now. Alright. So the first question I got is, what can you do here at Towson besides going to parties? So I'm not much of a party person myself. I'm more of a kickback with friends in a dorm, like nothing big. But there are some stuff you can do here. So we have Uptown Towson, which is that way somewhere. And they have the theater, the mall, a bunch of restaurants. There's some clubs here that are geared towards 18-year-olds. I guess that's kind of partying, but if you want to go to a club, you can do that here if you're under 21. My friends and I also tend to go to Target a lot. That's like a fun thing for us to do. I know that sounds pretty lame, but that is something that we do. Okay, advice for freshmen and things that I wish I knew before I came here. So the first thing and this is for college in general, the first thing is the last month of college is hard. It's not, like, you hear about finals being hard and finals week is the worst. I think the entire last month is the worst. Because by the last month, you've learned a majority of what you're supposed to get through that semester. So the professors give you a bunch of projects and papers and reports to do. And we're all doing them for all these classes at the same time. And then once those are done, then finals start. So I think the whole last month is hard. Also, I think it's important to make a point to go to things, to get out and like have fun, not to just sit in your dorm all the time. That's not me trying to judge people who do that. I mean, some people do enjoy doing that. I personally want to go out more, and I think last semester I spent too much time in my friend's dorm, and so I made a point this semester to not go there all the time and to go out and do different things, and I'm glad I did. Another thing, bring a shower caddy. I was under the impression that you didn't need to bring a shower caddy if you didn't live in a community bathroom, or if you didn't have a dorm that had a community bathroom. I have a suite style bathroom, so I only share it with one of the rooms. I was like, we'll just put all our stuff in the shower and be fine. Not really. So, wherever you live, bring a shower caddy. Okay, this next question. Why did I pick Towson University? This is a big question. I think there's a lot I could say about this, so everyone would have a different answer. So here's mine. I'm a deaf studies major, and that is not a very common major. Not a lot of schools have deaf studies, and those that do are often for deaf people. So it's a little bit more difficult to find a school with deaf studies for hearing people. So I went to Google and I searched universities with deaf studies for hearing people. And Towson is the first one that came up. And it also happened to be the closest to me. Which actually leads me to the next question. How far away do I live from Towson? So Towson's in Maryland, and I live in West Virginia. I'm only actually an hour and a half away, because I live on the very border of West Virginia, so I'm not as far as people think. But back to why I picked Towson. So yeah, it had deaf studies, and I'm sure you guys have heard that we're a big school with a small school feel. I didn't really know what that meant. I just knew that they made it sound like a good thing, so I was like, cool! But my friend Roshan, who's in my vlogs a lot, summed it up really greatly as to what that meant, and so I really want to share it with you because it kind of like, I feel like it's so true. But she said that there's a lot of people here, which there's like 22,000, so there's a lot of people here, but whenever you go somewhere, you can easily run into people that you know, which is so true. I mean, there are so many people here, but I can't walk 5 minutes in any direction without like running into someone that I knew from class or band or choir or something like that. So, but she did say that if you want to stay under the radar, it's not hard to do that. So yeah, I feel like that really sums up what that means, because I never knew really what that meant. Next question I got is, what is orientation like? So I don't know if they're doing the same thing this year that they did when I was doing orientation last year, but we had 2 orientations. We had one over the summer, and then we had one the week before classes, or like the weekend before classes, I think. The first one over the summer, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was very boring. You get assigned to groups, and it was my second time ever actually meeting my roommate, and we didn't get put in the same group, and that night we were leaving for Busch Gardens together, so we were pumped for the day. And we get there, and like no one else is excited. I think it was the first orientation of the whole year, and it's the first time that they did a summer orientation, so honestly I don't even know if they're doing this anymore. But I felt like my orientation leader wasn't exciting. The people in my group weren't excited to go to Towson, so I thought the whole thing was pretty boring. That being said, there are plenty of people who are excited to go to Towson, like me. I love Towson. The second orientation, I really can't help you much with that one because marching band was going on. We had band camp. So band camp gets you out of almost all of the orientation events. Not that you want to get out of them, but I had no choice. I couldn't go. So I really can't tell you what it's like. I do know I was required to go to meet my advisor. And that was cool because you got to meet people in your major. And my major being so small, there's not a lot of us. So it's kind of cool, like knowing everyone in your major. And it was my first time sitting in an actual classroom at Towson, so it was kind of cool to get to see what that was going to be like. Next question, what is moving like? I am also not the best person to answer this question. Because of band, we move in early, so I was not here I was on campus for regular move-in day, but I didn't go through the same exact process as everyone, so I'll tell you what it was like for me and then what I think it was like for other people. So, you get to campus, you have to unload all of your stuff out on the sidewalk, and then whoever is driving the car will go park somewhere, and then you have to go into your dorm, well not the dorm, but the building itself, and get your key and assigned to your room. Then you come back out, and you have a cart with you, put all your stuff in the cart, you take an elevator up to your room, and unpack. I mean, yeah, so it's pretty much the same. No matter whether you moved in for band or regular move-in day, the biggest difference is how crowded it is. Because I move in early, it is so much less crowded. If you are moving in on regular move-in day, you will be in line for a very long time. There were lines with carts going, I mean, if you don't know what I can't really explain, but there were lines going way too far out. I was so happy that I missed out on that. The only thing that did suck is because the elevators were being used by people moving in, I couldn't use them. I didn't want to take that away from someone else trying to move in, so I had to take the stairs to the 12th floor for like that whole day. Kind of sucked. Okay, next question. So, is work study worth it? So what work study is for those of you who don't know, is you get a job typically on campus, and actually I think they all have to be on campus, and instead of getting like paid in your pocket, it just all goes toward your tuition. So you never get any of the money, but your tuition goes down. So is it worth it? Well, I don't do work study, so you know, take my 2 cents with a grain of salt. I don't think it's worth it, because to be working so much and never, I don't know, there's no immediate gratification, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, because it would be awesome to watch your tuition go down, but I personally don't think it's worth it. Next question, how large are the classes? So this of course depends on the classes. The science classes are a lot bigger because they have labs. My classes are typically like 15 to 30 people. I think that's a typical range. When you get more upper level classes, they will get smaller. Like if they're upper level specified for your major. So like there are upper level deaf studies classes that only deaf studies majors can take. So there's not a lot of us, so not a lot of people take that class. And it kind of goes that way for most majors. Alright, next question. How easy is it to get in touch with the professors? This really depends, because some professors will email you within the hour, and some will never email you back, to be honest. So that's really all I can say to answer that. Alright, do students have a voice on campus? I really have to say yes. I think fairly, yeah. Right now, actually, SGA voting is going on. SGA is run completely by students, so, and SGA kind of runs everything else. So, we're voting for president, vice president, and a bunch of representatives. May 3rd and May 4th is when we vote. So there are 2 teams going against each other. They always come up with a name. I know last year the one who won, it was called TU Roar, something like that. Right now we have URTU and then Legacy are the 2 running. What else? So the other week, actually, I've mentioned this in a vlog too, but in my family studies class, we had someone come in and give us a lecture, and he wanted to be hired here, and we got to give our opinion on whether we thought that he should or shouldn't be hired, which I thought was interesting, because, like, you know, we're paying a lot to go here. I want to have a say in who's teaching me, so that was pretty cool. I would have to say we do have a voice. And all the clubs and stuff and all the organizations are run by students, so yeah. Next question. What is Towson's relationship with the surrounding community? So, I'd have to say overall, I mean, this is a college town, and I feel like I'm a very biased point of view because I've never lived here without being a college student. But I do kind of feel like everything is dominated by college kids. I live on campus, so we are always surrounded by college kids. And then when you go off campus, you'll always see someone wearing Towson gear. So I feel like we dominate the place. And then I'd have to say there's a lot of pride too. Like I know when you go into stores, you'll find, I bought this at Target. Like Target sells Towson stuff. So there's a lot of like Towson pride. And I know, like I think it's Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm pretty sure, actually that could be totally wrong. I don't know where. I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat wings. But I know something like when we win games, there's like free wings somewhere. I really don't know where that is. Okay, next question. What is my favorite place on campus and why? This is a really hard question because there's really a lot of places I like. It really depends on my mood. And I'm not just saying this to talk up Towson. I'm not that kind of person. I will not lie. I'm not going to talk up Towson unless I mean it. There are things I don't like about Towson, but that was not asked of me. So my favorite place on campus, depending on my mood, I'd have to say if I had to pick one, I'd pick the Center for the Arts. We call it the CFA. There's just a lot of couches. The architecture is so pretty, and there's art everywhere, and I always run into people I know. And I just feel like I'm like with my people when I'm there. Like I don't know, it's just so easy to be there. I feel so natural there. My second favorite place would probably be right there, in my bed. I really love my dorm because one, it's bigger than I expected. I decorate it to how I like it, so I like the way it looks a lot. And then Freedom Square is really nice on a good day, like when it's a nice day out. Freedom Square is fun because I always run into people I know there. Okay, last question I got. Why do I start every vlog with the date? So the reason I do this is because I love watching other people's vlogs, but when I find them, I always have to like go to the description to find out what day it was put up. And the day it was put up is not necessarily the same day it was recorded, which I find a little bit annoying. So I always start off with the date, because my vlogs always go up the day after the recording happened. So I like to say what day it happened on first thing, so that, like, say it's like November and you're watching a vlog from February, you can picture what time of year this was that I did it. So that is why I start every vlog with the date. Alright, so that is it for this Q&A, questions answered, whatever I decide to call it. Thanks for watching. I hope I helped with any of your questions. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments, and if you want me to do a Q&A, let me know, and I will do it. Okay, so right now I'm just about to leave for pause to meet Roshan for dinner. And, yeah, so we're meeting for dinner, and then, oh my god, my door's been so hard to open lately, I don't know why. After dinner, I'm probably gonna go to the library and get the vlog up. So Roshan and I decided to come out to Freedom Square. We just had dinner. So now we're here in Freedom Square. It's just a nice day out, or night, I guess. And I didn't want to just sit around inside. So now we're gonna sit around outside. I don't know how long we'll be here. Okay, I'm gonna end the vlog here. Roshan is coming with me to the library, so I'm gonna upload this now. Tomorrow I have a choir performance at a church in Charlestown. Not my Charlestown. And yeah, it'll be fun. So until tomorrow, remember to inspire others, do good things, and be happy.